If you asked me a few years back, where would I be? I would have never said here. We're living in Argentina, there's no way we're gonna travel and meet so many friends and meet so many cool people and do so many activities. There is no way. And it did happen. I have to say it was mostly thanks to the furry fandom. So in this video I would love to share with you the things that made my life better when I joined the fandom. I don't know if you know, but I am an extremely shy person. Ever since primary school and high school, I was always like super duper quiet, and it was actually kind of hard for me to make friends. And when you go and grow up, right, you become an adult, it actually becomes even harder, because how many friends can you have? Like old school friends that you used to have, or work friends? Sometimes you don't relate to like your work friends, because you always talk about work and stuff, and it's not that common to become super friends with people at work. It might happen, but it's not super common. So for someone like me who is extremely shy, how do I make new friends? How does that work for me? Well, that is the first point. That's where the fandom helped me a lot. It helped me make so many new friends. Actually, it's crazy. I would have never thought I would meet people from all around the world and become friends with them. There I have friends in different continents, and it's crazy how much the furry fandom helps you and opens so many doors when it comes to meeting new people and making new friends, because you already have that one thing in common, right? So it's very easy to socialize with that one thing in common, that is that you're furries. Then maybe you can find other hobbies, right? Maybe it's like, oh, you like cars, oh, you like drawing, oh, you like making fursuits, oh, you like movies, and then you bond over that. But of course you have that first big bond, that is being a furry. And for me, that helped me a lot. Joining group chats and going to conventions and meeting people from different parts of the world and actually befriending them and being like, oh, damn, I have a lot of friends now. That is super cool. It became extremely easy to make new friends. I just keep thinking about how it would be if I had to make friends only from work or from like old friends from school. And honestly, it would have to be luck if some of them actually like the things I like doing. So that is definitely the number one reason of how the fandom made my life way better, by allowing a very shy and silly guy who's like extremely introverted to make a lot of friends and to meet a lot of people who are into the same things as I am. I'm very thankful for that. It really helped me. If it's hard for you to make friends, the fandom really helped me with that. You know, one of the things I love the most? Traveling. And not only traveling, also meeting new cultures. I love getting to know people that are from different continents or super far away countries. I love learning what they do every day, how their lives are different to like what my life is or what I'm used to. As I was saying, I'm a sucker for that. I love that. It's one of my favorite things in the world. It gives me so much life and curiosity to just see that people do different things that from what I'm used to, and that is great. And of course, being a furry allowed me to do that very easily. It's crazy. It opened so many doors for me regarding that aspect of meeting different cultures. Me, that I come from Argentina, so very far away from everything. It allowed me to visit the US. It allowed me to visit a lot of countries in Europe. I have plans for visiting conventions and stuff in Asia too, Australia, because you have something to do, that is maybe visiting the friends you made there or going to the conventions that are happening there to meet more friends. So I have to thank the furry fandom for that. It made that little dream that I have and that little curiosity of meeting new cultures a thing now. Of course, it also makes things cheaper, right? Because if you have a friend staying in another country, maybe you can tell them, hey, could I stay at your place? And then you save money for the hotel. And you also save money for food because you can cook with them. That is definitely something that made my life way better when I joined the fandom. You know something that is great in the fandom? Body positivity. Furries make you feel comfortable with who you are. They will not judge you. They will make you feel accepted no matter the kind of body that you have. Most of furries are just gonna accept you and like compliment whatever body type you have, and that is actually great. That is such a beautiful thing to see, because it takes like a burden of you feeling judged because of how you look. Most of the people are gonna be extremely nice about your body, and they're gonna make you feel comfortable about sharing your stuff. I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen, or like the experiences IRL I had so far of someone judging like other people's body, you know? Like, of course you're gonna tell me like, yeah, it's not always like that. True, it might not always be like that. There are some mean people who can make some bad comments, but I would say compared to like, you know, the average of how the world is, people here are extremely body positive. The other amount of times it actually happens that I wanted to tell something to my maybe normie friends or like, I don't know, just day-to-day people. And I didn't do it because I was like, oh no, they're definitely gonna judge me. They're definitely not going to understand these things. Maybe it's just better if I don't say anything and move on and just keep it to myself. And well, I have to say, even with its flaws, the fandom is still a super duper welcoming place. Here I felt this is the place where I could be myself, you know? There's so many people with like different hobbies and different things they like, that you're always going to find your place here, and you're always going to find people who are willing to listen to you, and you're going to be able to express yourself freely, share the art you like, share the music you like. You could do whatever you want. You can be yourself. We're all fluffy, silly animals, right? You're not gonna be cringe. Can you be more cringe than this? No, of course not. And well, following that topic, yeah, we are very cringe. We know that. Don't worry. We're not trying to hide it. We're cringe. And that's fine, actually. Is it really that much of a bad thing to be cringe? I think it's not, actually. We're living in a very like adult world where you have to be like always focused in work, doing all your tasks. If you're at school, you gotta like study for your exams. You gotta be focused. You gotta be doing adult things and focusing on those things and following deadlines and work. And well, I mean, then maybe it's actually cool to be a little bit cringe once in a while, right? And forget you are an adult with responsibilities that you need to follow. It's just cool to be a fluffy dog. I like going to conventions in like a big fluffy suit, hugging people, jumping around, being silly. Is it really that bad if you think about it? Just detach a bit from reality, being a little bit cringe, being a little bit silly. I promise you should try it. You should actually try doing it, and you're gonna feel way better. I promise nothing's gonna happen if you're cringe for a bit. But tell me, what's the worst thing that can happen? It really helped me, like forgetting about like responsibilities for a bit and just being silly. I don't know. Try it. I promise it's gonna be fine. You know, I told you guys, I said it in the first point. I am very shy. It's always been a problem. It's hard for me to open up and like just be extremely extroverted and talk to a lot of people, or like see a group and be like, hey guys, my name is... No, that will never happen. I'm very shy. However, I have to say, the fandom did make my life way better in that aspect. Because I don't know if you know, but I stream on Twitch too. I like going to conventions and stuff. And all those events together made me actually be way more confident about myself and being way less shy. Now I feel comfortable of, I don't know, I see someone that I know and being like, hey, how are you doing? I'm Max. I don't know if you remember me. We talked on somewhere, blah, blah, blah. In the past, that wouldn't have been possible. There was no chance that would have been possible. I've also done a couple of panels at conventions. Yes, panels. Have to sit down and talk to a group of people just like that about a topic. And I did that. I actually did that. I don't know how. It opened so many new experiences for me that in the past I wouldn't have done, or people that I wouldn't have met because I would have been maybe a little bit too shy to approach them and send them a message. Maybe I found them super interesting, but you end up not talking to them. Of course, I still have a long way to go. I need to keep practicing on being way less shy, but I am there. I'm getting there. And the fandom, I'm meeting new people. It's definitely helping me a lot. If you also have this issue that you're very shy, you should definitely try it. Trust a golden retriever. You know something extremely hard for me when I was little? I always said this to myself. I've always felt like I didn't belong. I looked around and I was like, you know, these people are nice. Like, my friends are nice, but I don't feel we like the same things. I like them. They are nice. We have fun and stuff, but there are a lot of things I love doing that I cannot share. I felt like it was not my place and stuff like that. Well, the fandom helped me a lot with that, because here it's very easy to find like-minded people and people who actually enjoy the things you like doing, because it's such a big community, right? So there has to be someone who likes what you like, and they're way easier to reach because we're always in that same community. You can either find them on Twitter or at a convention. You see them walking around with a shirt of your favorite band, and you're like, I've always wanted to find someone who actually likes this band and I can talk to them. There you go. You have a new friend who you share a lot of things with. And you know, the good thing is that it's also important to meet people that are not like you, you know? So maybe you can find like new stuff, and you also have that. So you're definitely gonna feel people that are different from you, have different likes, and you're also gonna befriend them in the fandom. And maybe you, I don't know, maybe you find like new things you like, new stuff, and you share your things and they share their things. That's cool. I am very thankful for that. And you know what? The last thing I would say is you're gonna make so many memories and once in a lifetime experiences here. The amount of memories, you know, just to put it in perspective, like imagine, like these are the amount of memories I have made before I joined the fandom, and these are the amount of memories I've made after joining the fandom. Being able to talk in front of a massive group of people about things I like, traveling alone, going to a country where I knew a friend who was a local, and then having a lot of amazing cultural experiences that only locals know. And you know, there's so many more to make. That's just so many things, so many new memories, and so many once in a lifetime experiences that they were all thanks to the fandom. They were all thanks to the fandom. I would have never done them if I didn't join. It happens a lot to me that I meet like with maybe high school friends and we start talking, right? And maybe they tell me like, yeah, no, I'm still working, I'm still studying, I'm maybe planning to go to the once in a year to this very like generic vacation destination. And then I just tell them about my life, right? Like what I did in the furry fandom, and it's like, no, yeah, I've been to conventions in America, I've been to like Europe for to another convention. Then I went to visit friends in the Czech Republic, and then we went to Croatia, and then we went to Poland, and you know, I'm planning for next year going to Japan, and it's like they're like, wow. I would also be like, wow, if I was still like with the mentality I had a couple of years back. And of course, I understand maybe if you're in a position right now where maybe you cannot travel that much, or like conventions are very far from your place. Don't worry, that I've been in that situation. It gets better. Eventually, with time and consistency and like getting to know more people and friends, everything is doable. And you're also going to be able to go to many conventions and experience a lot of things. So yes, what can I say? Being a furry did not only give me a very big and like fun hobby, it also gave me so many friendships, so many memories. It helped me with me being shy and like super introverted. It made me do the things I've always wanted, like getting to know people from different cultures and travel the world. It opened so many doors for me in so many aspects of my life. And even if it has its flaws, right, even if there are things that are not always right, I think that those stuff happen like in every community. I try to focus on the things that improved my life a lot. If you're thinking about joining, I don't know, my experience has been quite good with its ups and downs, but there's so many ups. The downs are almost nothing. It's a different experience for everyone, of course, but this was like my little experiences. You can always feel free to share in the comments what you think. What do you think, it just made your life better or worse? Do you agree with my points? Thank you so much for watching the video. A woof. Bye bye.